Amazing day to all. This is your amazing guru, Teacher Dan Rogayan. And welcome to another episode of our letter review session. So we will be answering again another 10 questions for your professional education, which will help you prepare for your upcoming board exam. So let me first share my slide. All right. So I hope you have your paper and pen or pencil no, with you para sabayan ninyo ako sa pagsasagot ng ating mga Prof. Ed questions. Course, my wish and my prayer is that you will all pass the board exam. Kayang-kaya yan. No? Patuloy na manalig, patuloy na maghanda, at patuloy na mag-aaral. Alright, sige, simulan na natin. For the first question, teacher Ken recognizes the fact that learners have strong sensual feelings, and so she explores the learner's blank. A, pleasure values. B, spiritual values. C, values of the holy. Or letter D, vital values. So what do you think is the answer? All right, so that is pleasure value. So keywords natin dito are strong sensual feelings, no? So pleasure, no? Sense of pleasure, pleasure value. So this is actually based on Max Scheller's hierarchy of values. Now remember, yung ating pleasure values, this include the pleasant and unpleasant, yung mga kaaya-aya at hindi kaaya-ayang mga feelings, and those which are agreeable and disagreeable values. So that is more of pleasure. Vital values, on the other hand, is more of well-being of individual or community. So pag nakita sa board exam, the focus is on wellness, no? So we are referring to vital values, wellness or well-being. Okay? Spiritual values are actually grasped in spiritual acts. Yung ating mga practices, no? Based on our spirituality. Na, for example, yung ating mga practices na ginagawa based on what we believe in or the religion that we belong. Values of the holy are more of divine and idol. So these are more of values which actually can be seen sa mga, for example, holy deities, gods, no, and goddesses. So that is more of the values of the holy, which you can actually uphold or imbibe, no, as a person. So these are our hierarchy of values. Again, pleasure values, vital values, spiritual values, and values of the holy. A second question. The highest level in the life of a professional teacher as provided in the Philippine Professional Standard for Teachers or PPST is blank. A, model. B, most proficient. C, distinguished. D, highly proficient. Highest level. So what is the answer? Of course, that is distinguished teachers. Remember that PPST has four career stages. So these are actually the four career stages, no, based on our PPST, which of course initially based from our NCBTS or the National Competency-Based Teacher Standards. So the stage one here is the beginning teacher, followed by stage two, proficient teacher, stage three, highly proficient teacher, and stage four, distinguished teacher. Pag nakita sa board exam, tinanong highest, distinguished teacher. Lowest, beginning teacher. Usually, ang mga beginning teachers ay yung mga pre-service teachers natin or prospective teachers, those who are preparing to become future teachers. No? So these are enrolled in TIs or teacher education institutions. Followed by proficient teachers, usually teachers 1 to 3. Okay? Then highly proficient, usually these are the master teachers. Then for distinguished, those who have been serving for a long time in the educational institution, specifically in the public schools under the Department of. Before kasi, one size fits all, walang career stages. But now, teachers are being evaluated based on the career stage that they are in. Okay? Next question, which is are true of a professional? A, completed college or university degree. B, required of NC or national certification from TESDA. C, demonstrate solely ethical competence. Or letter D, abides by his or her personal code of. So, what do you think is the answer? Okay, what is true to a professional is that he or she has completed college or university degree because there is a preparation. No? For example, in the context of the Philippines, a degree can actually be obtained 4 or more years. But usually the average year is 4 years. Those who actually pursued 2 years, usually these are diploma courses, no? Hindi siya mga degree courses. So diploma courses or ladderized courses. So usually these are under TESDA, but usually for the 4 year degree program, usually it's a commission on higher education. Although some universities and colleges offer ladderized programs or courses that will actually be continued for a 4 year. Right? Lumabas kasi no in the recent board yung tanong na is driver's license uh is a driver can be considered as a professional, no? So may ganong tanong, professional driver. Although the term is to just describing the driver, no? A professional driver's license kasi is a valid document or card issued by the LTO and not by a degree granting institution like state universities or colleges. So dun pa lang medyo hindi na siya papasok dun sa context natin ng professionals. Authorizing a person to drive a private as well as public motor vehicle. So this is the type of license you need if you want to drive a vehicle. But if in the context of a professionalization in the country, a professional driver cannot be considered as a professional in the context of education. Okay, so pag tinanong, is a driver can be considered a professional in the context of education? No, because he or she must complete at least 4 years in college or university and granted a certain degree from that particular institution. Okay, clear ba tayo doon? Alright, next question. What principle was not being applied when Teacher Mayan made no introductory orientation of lessons in the curriculum agenda? Is it A, giving a pre-test and post-test for lessons? B, preparing students to be quiet? C, preparing instructional tools? Or letter D, connecting present to previous lesson? Which was not being applied. So, what is the correct answer here? Okay, what was not being applied is the connection of the present to previous lessons because the teacher has failed to make no introductory orientation in the lesson. So there should be coherence, there should be continuation. So prior to the discussion of the present lessons, you make a recall or a review no, of the previous lesson and try to use that as a springboard to the new lesson. So that's from recall to presentation of your new lesson. Next, which of the following topics are appropriate for inviting a barangay chairman to share ideas with students and teachers in a school? A, tips on health and nutritional care. B, organizing a school sports tournament. C, managing the basic needs of a community. Or letter D, climate change and its responsibility. Right? So what particular topic kaya is actually appropriate for a barangay chairman or a punong barangay? Of course, that is managing the basic needs of a community. Since punong barangay or the barangay chair is actually the head no, of a certain community or barangay, he or she is knowledgeable on the basic needs or necessities of his or her constituent. So, mainam no mabigyan tayo, for example, tayong mga teachers and students ng mas malalim na kaalaman patungkol sa paano kaya nila nagigauge no or na-assess yung pangangailangan ng mga constituents nila. And that could be a good topic na pwedeng ma-share nila in a school. So this is actually a reflection that we could invite our stakeholders to share something in the school. This is all that only to enhance no or broaden our knowledge about certain topics, but this is also a good manifestation of a school community partner, no? As part of our quality management system or the total quality management system. Okay, so next, yeah, I just would like to show you no, the structure of the Philippine government with 3 major branches, our executive, our legislative and judiciary. Remember, executive is sila yung nakapagpatupad, no, ng mga batas, mga programa, mga aktibidad, no, sa mga komunidad o sa lipunan. Legislative are those is the branch of government which actually concerned naman sa paggawa ng mga batas. So they legislate laws like the Senate of the Philippines and House of Representatives. And of course, the judiciary, they're the one who actually interpret the laws, no, and other legislations. This is actually headed by the Supreme Court, no, which of course headed by a Chief Justice and 14 Associate Justices, making a 15-member team of the Supreme. Okay? So next question. Teacher MJ makes effort for students to discover personal values applicable for life in his lessons. What domain of learning is served in this instance? A, skills learning, B, metacognitive learning, C, cognitive learning, or letter D, affective learning. What is the answer, Teacher LP, please? Of course, when we talk about personal values, we're talking about affective learning. So personal values, no, these are values, feelings, emotions which can be seen as relevant sa kanilang buhay bilang mga estudyante. Remember, no, in the Bloom's domains of learning, we have our psychomotor, our cognitive, and affective. And if we're going to talk about affective, may level din yan, gaya sa cognitive natin, no? From knowledge to evaluation. Ngayon, remembering to creating. Affective is from receiving, responding, valuing, organizing, and characterizing or characterization. So for the affective domain, the highest level is characterization and the lowest level is receiving. All right? So next, the philosopher said man is an unfinished project. What does this mean? A, every human person is in the process of becoming a better person. B, every person is expected to spend enormous reason for his or her progress. C, every person should work on the improvement of someone else. Or letter D, every person's life has an end. So man is an unfinished project. So what does this imply? All right, so what is your answer? Okay, so every human person is in the process of becoming a better person. In the context of our classroom or in the context of education, we teachers have very pivotal, indispensable roles, no, of developing, no, our students, our learners. Remember that our profession is really very unique because what our products are human souls. So we are actually developing a person from what he is to what he will become. And that's part of our big role, no, as educators or as teachers. So every human person is in the process of becoming a better person. Man is an unfinished project. And we continue, no, to deliver, no, our responsibilities with a sense, our responsibility and obligation, of course, with a sense of commitment and passion. Okay? So next question, Teacher Leia is a blank. She avoids out of context facts, recall, but introduces situations for learners to think, feel, and do, such as making picture folders, team building on projects, and the like. So what is she? Is it A, progressivist, B, constructivist, C, naturalist, D, positivist? All right, so she's avoiding out of context, recall, no? Introduces situations which actually make learners think. So that is more of a progressivist. Remember, no, progressivism has something to do with encouraging learners' interest, no, doing group activities, authentic and real life activities, which actually encourage students to take part in the process. Okay? By the way, constructivism has something to do with the addition, no, of the new learning from prior learning. Usually, students construct, no, their new learning and connect it to their prior understanding or prior learning. Naturalist has something to do with those teachers who actually give, for example, environmental activities, no, For example, field tours, field trip, no? So that's also one of the activities being given by teachers who are following the naturalism philosophy. While positivist has something to do with making sure that the teaching learning process is uh, is harmonious and does not pressure students too much. Usually, this includes the use of game-based learning also and use of play in the process. Okay. So next, is it professional for a teacher to receive gifts from students and parents? A, not at all. B, no, especially if done in exchange for requested concessions. C, yes, if deserved. D, yes, in season and out season gift. So what do you think? Is it professional for us teachers to receive gifts from students and parents? So our answer here is no, especially if done in exchange for requested concessions or may kapalit. So iiwasan natin 'to 'no, lalo kapag, these will actually, the parents or the students are actually expecting for, a favor or asking for a favor. So that is unethical based on the professional code of ethics, teachers' professional code of ethics. So the answer here is letter. Okay, so that is according to Article 8, no, under the Teachers and Learners section for Code of Ethics for Professional. So next question, among critical thinking skills is blank. A, opinionating. B, believing. C, guessing. D, estimating. What do you think is the answer? All right. Of course, that is opinionating. So opinionating is actually among the critical thinking skills because here in opinionating, you actually base your opinion or formulate your opinion based on facts, diba? Based on information that you have gathered. So this is also a product of your research. This is also a product of your research. So remember, in critical thinking, no, versus analytical thinking. Analytical thinking can be thought of as a step in the overall process of critical thinking. And when we say critical thinking, you make judgment, no, based on opinion formed by various sources of information, just like what I earlier cited, no, including your own knowledge and experience. And of course, you use facts, no, in analytical thinking within the information gathered to support your conclusion. Basically, opinionating is one of the skills no under critical. So these are some other skills no under critical thinking: your observation, your ability to notice and predict opportunities, problems, and solutions. And usually, this is the first step no in your scientific method where you actually formulate no a problem based on your observation. Remember, you can not start a research without identifying the research problem, the research gap. Then analysis is the gathering, understanding, interpreting of data and other information. So you analyze data, uh, if it's qualitative or quantitative data or mix of this. Inference is drawing conclusion based on relevant data, information, and personal knowledge and experience. So you infer something based on the data that you have, the information that you have, or from the experience or knowledge that you have. Communication is sharing and receiving information with others verbally, non-verbally, and in writing. Usually we communicate through, like, for example, uh, conference, discussion or lecture like this, or even publication. So we communicate our results through publication, through research presentation, or probably creating infographics. Now that we're using social media that much, you can use PubMed or infographics. And number 5 is problem solving. The process of gathering, analyzing, and communicating information to identify and troubleshoot solutions. Usually you are addressing a certain problem by you know by thinking of the most feasible solution to that particular. These are some of the critical thinking skills that we need to develop among our learners: observation, analysis, inference, communication, and problem. All right, so that ends our 10 questions no in professional education for this episode. No, before I end, I'd like to leave you I'd like to leave this quote to you. No, stop dreaming and start doing. And I know you are doing your best no, to review the salient concepts no, that will actually help you in passing the work. So maraming salamat sa inyong lahat. So don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more let review rationalizations and lectures. So maraming salamat and happy review.